Hey there, everyone. Welcome. It's Lotus with Art of Sacred Embodiment. How are you feeling in these new moon eclipse energies and in this, this ongoing portal? So curious. I've kind of taken a couple days to just rest and integrate and download whatever was needing to come through. And curious how all of you have been experiencing these energies. It's been a doozy on my end. This whole year has been a doozy on my end. But I'm hoping that you're feeling your way through it and winding in with them some peace, harmony, balance, since we've been in this Libra new moon. So I'm curious how you come into relationship with the cycles of the moon, with the seasons, with the equinoxes and the eclipses that we have. And I think to simplify, talking about the new moon and full moon cycles, I've had a couple people say that it's just been really helpful when I've shared how I work with them. And so I'm just going to generalize some ways, a way that they can be worked with. And they'll keep you in relationship with you, in relationship with the cycles and with the energies. So, I'm not, I don't study a lot per se on what all of the zodiac signs that we're in and the astrological pieces, but I do listen and I do let that kind of inform me. And for instance, we had the Libra new moon, which really works with relationship, love, balance and harmony. Libras, right? They like to keep that equilibrium within that place of peace. They don't want to rock the boat. And of course, I did the new moon meditation, which is still available for you as well. And I'll put the link below. And we went really deep with peace and harmony and balance and on that internal realm. So I like to work with the qualities and how are those qualities showing up? What, for instance, in this moon cycle, what was in balance, what wasn't in balance, and taking the medicine of the dark moon, allowing new seeds to be planted, new intentions that are aligned from the soul level, not from necessarily the heart level or the thinking mind level, but really that heart and soul connection to what is this truth right now that's wanting to come forth, whether it wants to birth in your outer realm or just qualities that you're refining and cultivating within your own being. So it's a great time to plant those seeds, as we all know. But any moon cycle is going to be that time to really sort of pull your energy in, right? Because it's the feminine expression that wants us to come into the inner realms, that wants us to slow down, that wants us to soften, that wants us to recognize where we need nourishment, nurturance, that inner solitude, that type of thing. And to use that as the prism for how we're operating, and how much we're going out into the world and how much we're doing and making conscious choices about what we are doing. Because we want to remember that we're getting activations, right? We're getting activations and information and downloads and revelations when we can come into an inner connection to be able to receive them. So for instance, for a new moon phase, I usually stop any external outward activity that isn't mandatory. As we get closer and closer to the new moon. So, 2 to 3 days when those energies start coming in, I start winding everything down. Anything that needs to go outward, we can start pulling that in, putting it on the back shelf, recognizing that divine timing will take care of everything. And right now, for the new moon, the invitation, the energies are saying, go within to the inner darkness. And then we can just be in that place. It's like being in the womb, right? That dark womb within us in our lives. That can mean just taking more time to be outside, not doing things, not thinking, not studying, not activating things, right? Not trying to move things out into the world, because this is a time of that kind of planting seeds and gestating, starting that gestation process, letting everything find its place, as well as allowing everything that's already been happening since the full moon to integrate, to find your new stabilizing points, and to release whatever is no longer needed. And that requires, in my experience and in my opinion, it really requires coming into that deeper relationship with ourselves, deeper relationship with the energies within us, with the information within us, with the emotions within us. For those places that maybe we've been distracted or going and needing to be operating in the world, that have kept us from the quieter, softer information. And this is really a part of the path of the sacred feminine, following the moon cycles, being within that communication, allowing ourselves to sleep more, to rest more, going to bed earlier, maybe sleeping a little later, listening more deeply to your own inner rhythms of the body. Allowing emotions to come to the surface, allowing yourself to be a little confused as everything reorients. It's kind of like the moons for me sometimes tend to be like Rumi's poem, The Guest House, right? Where things can get a little chaotic and messy inside here. And the more that we can be hands-off and not try to fix anything, we recognize on a deeper level that the soul knows what it's doing. Allow the soul to take out all the old furniture and plant the seeds of the new creations, of the new vision, of the new, interior design. But we're not out buying it all yet, right? We're not out choosing it yet. We're listening and allowing a deeper level of us to inform us so we'll be in alignment. So, we're still in this new moon, and I'm still foggy. I'm still a little groggy. I'm still a little tired. And because it's been a doozy, there's a lot of things finding new places inside. And I still have a couple priorities on my list to do before I go back inward. And this is one of them, being here with you. So as we start to move now, over these next couple days, out of the darkness, coming back into the light, we can begin after that 3-day period, right? 3 days on either side. After, we've got 2 more days of that. Then I can take what I've learned, what I've gleaned, and I can then begin to move forward into a more active phase. Perhaps we can take some of the seeds that we've planted and begin now from a deeper center, a deeper quietude, making aligned choices, those right and true choices, so that we're consciously creating with the universe, not randomly, not by willpower, not by, force and push, right? Instead, listening, moving with the peace and ease and grace of this Libra new moon qualities, coming into that balance, and consciously, gracefully moving forward into the full moon time. But this is a time where there's more action, right? We grow in our activity as we move towards the light, as we're we could say, pulled out more now during this phase. And then as we begin to move into the full moon, that'll be on the 17th of October, 3 days before, it's taking what we've done so far, right? And really getting clear about those actions. Are there any other actions that need to be taken within those first day or two, so what would that be? The 15th and 16th of the full moon, and allow any completion to take place during that time, so that you can let go and allow the light of that full moon to begin to shine down, reveal more information, help you to listen inside. So we are step back inside ourselves. Step back in relationship with that moon cycle. Be in those energies and feel that sense of big releasing of what you don't need moving forward. And yet, if there's anything to just really kind of celebrate, affirm and confirm, yes, this is the right trajectory. I'm on track. And just sit with that and allow the divine then and your own soul to continue to bring you revelations, so that when you get towards the last 3 days of that cycle, which will be 18th, 19th, you can start stepping out, moving, continuing the action, continuing to keep your vision alive, continuing to do whatever you're doing as you move towards the new moon again. Now, I think there might be another eclipse. Oy vey. On the 17th, I feel like I'm getting kind of different information on that from different sources. But so you can kind of find that out for yourself, or I'm sure I'll have more to say about it in next videos. But Then you start winding things down as we get to the next new moon, which is going to come in November. And you start going inside, right? And as you go into this deeper state, you're releasing more. But then you can refine and redefine what is your true alignment now from where it was, even from this new moon, right? And I really like to track full moon to full moon, new moon to new moon. And what I find is that when I'm in these harmonies, I can really gauge my own co-creation consciously. And I have pause points of each moon to make sure I'm in alignment. Because who I am now at this new moon may very well have transformed again in the new moon in November. Most likely that will happen because that's how it usually operates. So we get deeply in touch with the sacred feminine. And this is not gender. This is that aspect of us that operates in harmony and balance with the masculine. In that motion of the feminine. When we come out through the full moon, right, or into the full moon, we're shifting into our inner masculine. And that's more of that doer phase. But just like the in-breath and the out-breath, there is an outward motion and an inward motion. There's action and rest, right? There's movement and stillness. And this is really what this Libra energy starts to tell us. It starts to really let us know that to stay in balance, we need both. To live inwardly and outwardly balanced, to live in whole life wellness, we need to live holistically with the ins and the outs, the ups, the downs, the fluxes that take us inward and then outward. And this is living in a more integrated way where we deepen the path of the sacred living. So that's all I think I'm going to say on that. But that's just, that is an idea. And then there are rituals that we can include, if you feel so called, at either the new or the full moons. And then there's the quality of the moons. So, every month we do a new moon and a full moon deep meditation journey with light language activation, and that activation supports us in working with these energies and whatever intentions you're creating or whatever you're actually manifesting in that manifestation phase. And we align deeply with what is that true essence. And the light language is that force, that divine source of alignment that dials us in even more deeply to what our true essence is. So you can still get that, and actually the embodied movement or the embodied moments. The first one that we did was this last Sunday, and it was on joy. And that is also available, and I'll put the link below that you can access those if you'd like. And so when we ride these waves consciously, it starts to bring this deep richness into our inner realm and into that relational intimacy with how we're living our lives. So I hope that this resonates with you. If this does, please subscribe below, like. All of that is super helpful to just growing this community and supporting this kind of information if you like it, and alerting you when new stuff comes along. So, all right. Many blessings. We're still in this phase. So if this resonates, you got a couple more days in this deeper inner reflection. Take advantage of it. It's worth a million. Journaling, inner listening, softening. All right, enjoy.